Did God allow Jacob's deception? The story of Jacob's deception is a fascinating account that challenges our understanding of God's role in human affairs. While the Bible does not explicitly state that God approved of Jacob's deception, it reveals a deeper narrative of God's sovereignty, showing how he orchestrates events, even those tainted by human sinfulness, to fulfill his divine purposes. Before Jacob and Esau were even born, God had a plan that defied human expectations. He told Rebekah that the older shall serve the younger, Genesis 25:23, a statement that went against the cultural norms of the time. Typically, the firstborn son received the birthright and blessing, yet God chose Jacob, the younger, to inherit the covenant promises given to Abraham. This plan was rooted in God's sovereign will, not in the actions or merits of Jacob or Esau, Romans 9:11-12. Jacob's act of deception, encouraged by his mother Rebekah, was undeniably sinful. The Bible recounts how Jacob, disguised in goatskins to mimic his brother Esau's hairy arms, approached his blind father Isaac with a prepared meal. Isaac, deceived by Jacob's cunning disguise and the meal that mimicked Esau's cooking, bestowed the blessing intended for the firstborn upon Jacob. This act of deceit led to significant consequences: family discord, Esau's deep anger, and Jacob's forced flight to Haran. Despite the sin involved, God's overarching plan remained intact. This is a recurring theme in Scripture. God works through human sin and failure to accomplish his redemptive purposes. Just as he used Joseph's brother's betrayal to ultimately save lives, Genesis 50:20, he also used Jacob's deception to bring about his greater plan. Jacob's story is also a testament to God's grace. His name, which means supplanter or deceiver, reflects his actions early in life, yet God's choice of Jacob was not based on his moral standing, but on God's sovereign purpose. Throughout Jacob's life, God was at work, transforming him and guiding him toward his destiny. Jacob's journey included moments of divine encounter and correction, culminating in his renaming as Israel, meaning he who struggles with God, Genesis 32:28. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Romans, reflects on the story of Jacob and Esau to highlight the concept of God's sovereign election. Paul points out that God's choice of Jacob was not based on their actions, but on his divine purpose, Romans 9:10-13. This emphasizes that God's plans are rooted in his will and grace, not in human merit. God did not morally endorse Jacob's deception, but he allowed it as part of his sovereign plan. The story illustrates God's ability to use even flawed human actions to fulfill his divine purposes. Jacob's life, marked by sin, struggle, and eventual transformation, serves as a powerful example of God's grace, sovereignty, and faithfulness. Through Jacob, God continued his covenantal promises, ultimately leading to the formation of the nation of Israel and the coming of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. Like and subscribe to follow for more videos.